Well, it's something that every business wants but doesn't necessarily have. Happy, satisfied customers. A bunch of Kiwi companies have just been rewarded for giving us what we want. A survey of 12,000 New Zealanders was carried out by Roy Morgan Research. Its CEO, Michele Levine, is with me now. Thank you for coming in this morning.
It's a pleasure.
You surveyed 12,000 people. Can you just briefly tell us how did people judge the customer satisfaction? What sort of scale did you have?
Yes, we do. We survey 12,000 New Zealanders and we ask them which companies they deal with, which coffee shops they visit, which car they drive, etc. So we find the customers of each of these companies and then we simply ask them how satisfied are they? How satisfied are they on a scale of 1 to 5? So very satisfied, fairly satisfied, not so satisfied, etc. So this is what New Zealanders are saying, New Zealand customers, about these companies. It's pretty unarguable, I think.
Absolutely. Now, who were the big winners?
Well, there were lots of winners. This survey covered 24 categories, but some of the really interesting ones, I suppose, Kiwi Bank topped their list in terms of major banks. So New Zealanders really like Kiwi Bank. SBS Bank topped the list of all financial institutions. So that's a much smaller organisation. And we often find that a smaller organisation is able to actually satisfy a niche set of customers a little easier than a big group.
One that jumped out to me was Clothing Store of the Year went to Postie.
Yep.
What do you think got Postie over the line?
Look, it's really hard to tell, but what we do see by these sort of satisfaction awards is it's not always the most upmarket or the biggest or the one that actually has the best overall customer experience. It may be that they're actually just doing a really good job of satisfying their customers. You know, the trick is, what do your customers want? And understanding exactly what they want. And if you give them what they want, they'll be satisfied. They're not necessarily looking for bigger stores or more expensive things or more range. You can't guess that. You actually have to listen to your customers. And obviously, Postie knows what their customers want and is giving it to them better than their competitors.
You're talking about the smaller companies perhaps doing a little better. Mobile Service Provider of the Year, we often think of Vodafone and Telecom, but 2 Degrees won this time round.
2 Degrees has obviously given these big players a real run for their money. It's an amazing thing for us to see, even measuring this. We've been tracking this for a couple of years now, and once 2 Degrees came into the market, they just lifted customer satisfaction, you know, well beyond the other players, and they've stayed there. And at our awards night last night, the 2 Degrees folk there were so excited. These people are really focused on customer satisfaction.
Well, look, Michele, we have to go, but can you give us perhaps the biggest surprise for you on the list? Was there any one of these awards that really stood out as being a surprise?
Well, look, you're never truly surprised, but Muffin Break was a good one to see there. Muffin Break, which has a sort of an operation that's quite broad, and you don't necessarily think of them as a specialist coffee shop or anything like that, but they topped the list of coffee shops, and when we met the Muffin Break folk, they were thrilled as well. So all of these companies now who've won the awards clearly are going to be going out there and doing even more to satisfy their customers, because they all really want to.
Well, that's great to see. Michele Levine from Roy Morgan, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.